This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. I hate to say it, UK, but it does look like the media is getting everybody accustomed to the idea of Harry returning back home. This week in UK tabloid magazine Heat, Harry tells Meghan, "This isn't working." Yeah, no kidding, but I don't think it's for the reasons that they explain in this article, but we're going to go through it nevertheless and have a good laugh. So here we go. The article begins. They were the picture of bliss when they kissed on the steps of St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle after their wedding in 2018. And Prince Harry and Meghan tried to emulate that same happiness last month when they shared a collection of photos of themselves beaming as they were joined by son Archie 5 and daughter Little Betty 3 to celebrate the festive season. But despite appearances, much has changed for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in the years since they wed. Harry publicly addressed rumors of a split towards the end of last year after fans noted they were seemingly living separate lives with an increasing number of solo appearances. He said during a talk in New York in December, "We've apparently divorced maybe 10, 12 times. It's hard to keep up with, but that's why you just sort of ignore it." And now, a source tells Heath that while they are far from heading to the divorce courts, Harry, who spent last year attempting to build bridges with the royal family, has finally admitted that their current setup of pursuing individual paths in the public eye isn't working. We're told, on the surface, Meghan and Harry are doing their best to laugh off rumors that things are not exactly rock solid between them. But the truth is, the life they're living now isn't what either of them had imagined at the start. While Harry and Meghan made two high-profile faux royal tours last year, to Nigeria in May and Colombia in August, they spent much of 2024 working apart. Harry carried out solo engagements in Canada, where his Invictus Games will be held next month, and also went on a 2-week trip visiting New York, London, South Africa, and Lesotho. While he was away, Meghan made 2 surprise appearances on the red carpet in Beverly Hills, including a reunion with film producer pal Tyler Perry at the Paley Honors Gala. She also kicked off the new year with 2 more solo ventures, debuting her new Instagram account, at Meghan, with a video of herself on the beach and a trailer for her new Netflix lifestyle show. But while Meghan is forging ahead with her own career plans, we're told this way of living is no longer working for Harry. Although his wife seems to accept being estranged from her family, having not spoken to her father Thomas since 2018, Harry is determined to make 2025 the year he finally makes amends with his. Harry has said things aren't working for him. The major sticking point is the mess with his family, which he's taking responsibility for while Meghan is still putting the blame firmly on the palace, says the source. And honestly, this is just my opinion. I think we're past Meghan giving any type of apology because all of this was intended to go the way that it was supposed to go, in the sense of all these lies that she was putting out to go on Oprah. That was all part of the plan to cause this division. We're never going to get an apology, and Meghan's never going to go back to the UK because her mission, or whether it be a contract or whatever it is that she was supposed to be doing over here, is over. I hope people are seeing how things are starting to wind down. And Harry finding his way back to the UK and getting back to doing the things that he used to do. The rift began when Harry and Meghan stepped down as senior royals in 2020. It's worsened after the pair's bombshell interview in 2021 with Oprah, in which they claimed members of the royal family had questioned the color of Archie's skin before he was born, and that the palace dismissed fears about Meghan's mental health. Things between Harry and his brother, Prince William, reached rock bottom in 2023 after Harry detailed arguments he and Meghan had with William and wife Catherine in his controversial memoir, Spare. While Meghan is supportive of Harry building bridges, our source adds that she isn't willing to budge on her reluctance to return to the UK. She will not even consider going back to the UK or apologizing. But Harry is feeling the heat from his close circle, who are all worried about him. They can tell he has a strong desire to make amends in any way that he can with his father and his brother, but his new life in the U.S. is holding him back from that, we're told. The source continues, people have even told him that it's good he is spending time apart from Meghan, as it has been like a pressure cooker trying to get the public back on side. And with there being so many health scares in the royal family, both with Catherine and King Charles, Harry is feeling more homesick than ever, and the inner turmoil of not being in a good place with his family is gnawing away at him. Harry said himself last February that he was keen to seeing his family more, revealing, "My family and my life in California is as it is. I've got other trips planned that would take me through the UK or back to the UK, so I'll stop in and see my family as much as I can." But it seems those attempts fell flat, as a spokesperson for the Duke confirmed the king was too busy to see Harry when he visited the UK last May. And in August, he and William reportedly sat apart and didn't speak to one another when they attended the funeral of their late mother, Princess Diana's brother-in-law, Lord Robert Fellows. Our insider says the question for Harry and Meghan this year is how they go about prioritizing their marriage, as they appear to be on completely separate pages in their lives. Friends are worried that if things get any more tense between them, they may start wondering if it's all worth it, especially if Harry isn't happy. The source adds, of course, Harry doesn't want his marriage to end. He loves Meghan and his children. But he would be lying if he said the last year or so hasn't taken a huge toll on his well-being. He wants nothing more than peace with the royal family and is worried that Meghan's goals just don't align with that. He's scared he could end up estranged from his family for the rest of his life. So this is my opinion on this article. It blatantly ignores the real issue of Harry's mission in the U.S., focusing instead on superficial lifestyle changes and celebrity gossip, which we all know is used for distraction. This diversion serves to distract from the critical narrative of media censorship and control, which might be affecting Harry's public image and initiatives. By portraying Meghan's transition positively, the article might be a part of a media strategy to shift focus away from Harry's struggles, suggesting, in my opinion, a narrative control that undermines his efforts in the United States. We have to think that Meghan could possibly be doing things also to sabotage him. Now, the mention of Harry's feeling heat from his friends, I think, is sensationalized without providing any concrete evidence or context, possibly to manufacture drama. Now, obviously, many of us know by now that these types of stories that come out in these tabloid magazines should not be taken so seriously. For one, it doesn't even scratch the surface on the problems that these two have. And two, you notice how they delicately seed the idea, which many of these tabloid magazines have been consistent with, in seeding that idea that is just not working out for Harry here in the United States. Folks, we have 11 days left to go till Donald Trump gets inaugurated and I do believe that there is this hustle for Harry to get back, especially if he does not get his status back. Now, I really hate to admit this, but I do think that Harry has a good chance at getting his security status back, not because he deserves it and it's warranted, but because Harry is the Hunter Biden of the royal family. When you think about Hunter Biden's preemptive pardon covering a span of 10 years, that wasn't just to protect Hunter Biden. That is to protect everybody that was involved with Hunter Biden. So, you look at it from that perspective and you think about Harry. Harry didn't come over here to the United States and just winged it. Of course, he had people behind him supporting him in his efforts with the censorship industrial complex. There's no way he just picked up the phone and said, I'm going to be on the Aspen Commission on Information Disorder, or I'm going to go work at Better Up, or I'm going to, get involved with the Omidyar Network and support creating this fund that promotes pushing regulation. No. There are people that were behind Harry and Meghan supporting this endeavor here in the United States to tear down the First Amendment during the 4 years, and we know that. The question is, who were those people? I'm pretty sure that they do not want their names getting out, and they have every interest in seeing that Harry gets his status back so he can avoid being criminally prosecuted. Also, not be required to pass over any type of information. I think that's the big thing here. I do think the same thing would go for his bitch wife. Is it possible that the reason why this divorce or this fake marriage hasn't ended yet is because they're waiting on the decision for this? I think that's a possibility. One thing that we need to keep in the front of our minds here in pushing back on why this couple should not get this status back is because of their abuse of power. And knowing these two by having this status, it comes with access to intelligence. And I'm sorry, but being that Meghan and Harry, both two malicious beings, would not hesitate twice to access information and use it against someone for malicious purposes, because this is how they roll. That's why it's so important to keep continuing to talk about what these two have done instead of talking about this other garbage, because they want you to forget the harm that they have caused. Because if they get the status back, it's going to be dangerous for all of us. These two should not have any power. They are the last people that should have any kind of power. I mean, we all know that the world is on fire, and these stories from time to time are fun, but we can't lose sight of reality and the things that are happening around us. Please pray for those in California. That situation is a mess. And while the majority of the folks that have been affected are these wealthy, rich celebrities, think about the animals, think about all the other people that don't have those types of luxuries, and pray for them. We've got a lot of distraction going on. 2025 has kicked off with fireworks. We had first week 2 terrorist attacks. This week we have all these fires. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content. Please pray that we make it to January 20th safely and that the next 4 years we prosper. What I saw today watching the Jimmy Carter funeral, you can tell that the deep state cabal, they're bitter and they're angry. And I'll leave you with this clip. You got to really give it up for Trump to be able to sit among these traitors and snakes. I don't think these people are done yet, especially the Clintons.
such a fraud.